What keeps us from getting in God's face? What keeps us from getting in God's presence? When we are in a space where we don't want to pray, we got to ask, what's keeping me from being in God's presence? When we're in a place where we don't want to be in our word, we got to ask ourselves, what's keeping me from being in God's presence? When we don't want to come to church, we got to ask ourselves, why don't I want to get into the presence of God? When you find yourself reluctant to be in God's face and in God's presence, it's time to take some inventory. Is there something I haven't confessed to God that's keeping me from being in his face? Is there some way that I want on my own that's keeping me from being in the face of God? Is there some desire that I want for myself that's contrary to God? Am I afraid of what God's going to tell me to do? Is that why I don't come into his presence?